So, when you hear the term smart city, what really comes to mind? It's about more than just a bunch of sensors and collecting data, right? It's really about speed. Today, we're going to dive into the tech that's giving our cities a much faster, way more responsive brain, Edge AI.
Okay, so take a look at this. We all have this vision of our future cities, A perfectly smooth network of smart traffic lights, connected cars, instant alerts. It looks amazing. But there's a problem, a hidden bottleneck, a kind of fundamental speed limit that's holding this whole beautiful idea back.
And this leads to a really critical question. For things like preventing a car crash or getting first responders to an accident, a delay of even a second, that can be the difference between a close call and a disaster. So, what happens when that smart system just can't keep up with the real world? This brings us right to the heart of the matter. We can call it the smart cities dilemma, and it's really a challenge of distance and time.
So, here's how it typically works, right? You've got a camera on a street corner, and it sees something. Let's say a traffic jam is starting to form. That camera has to bundle up all that video data, shoot it miles away to some huge data center, the cloud brain. Then it has to wait for an analysis, and then it has to wait for a decision to be sent all the way back. That round trip, it just takes too long.
But what if there was a better way?
Well, there is. A fundamental shift is happening that completely flips the script, and this is what we're calling the Edge AI revolution.
Okay, so what is Edge AI? It's a pretty simple idea, but it's brilliant. It's all about moving the intelligence away from that faraway cloud brain and putting it right on the edge. On the camera, the sensor, the traffic light itself. The thinking happens locally, right where the action is.
I think this slide says it perfectly. We're shifting computation to the source. So instead of sending all that raw data out, the device itself becomes its own tiny, powerful brain. It's not just a dumb eyeball anymore. It's actually making decisions all on its own.
So you might be asking, why is this so much better? Why is this such a game changer? Let's break down exactly why this local approach is just a massive leap forward. First, let's just quickly remember the old way. A sensor sees something, the data travels all the way to the cloud, it gets processed, and a command eventually comes back. So how long does that trip actually take? Well, get this. In a lot of cases, it can take over 800 milliseconds. Now that might sound fast to us, but in the world of split-second decisions for public safety, that's an eternity. Now look at this. With Edge AI, we're talking about a decision time of just 10 to 50 milliseconds. That isn't just a little bit faster, it's a totally different ballgame. It's practically instantaneous.
And that incredible speed unlocks three huge advantages. First, you get that raw speed and reliability. Decisions happen in the blink of an eye. And this is key. It all still works even if the internet connection goes down. Second, you save a ton of bandwidth. Instead of streaming a massive 4K video file, the device just sends a tiny little summary like, hey, there's a traffic jam on Main Street. And third, and this is a big one for a lot of us, it's a huge win for privacy. Your personal data can be processed right on the device and then deleted so it never has to be sent anywhere.
Okay, so that's all the theory. Now let's see how this actually plays out in the real world, and things you might start seeing in your own city pretty soon.
Let's walk through a quick story. An AI camera at an intersection sees a long line of cars backing up. Right there, on the spot, without asking a server in another state for permission, its onboard AI makes a decision. Let's extend the green light for 10 more seconds. Just like that, the jam clears up and traffic starts flowing again, all thanks to a local, instant decision.
And this goes way beyond just traffic lights. A camera on the highway could spot a crash and instantly, automatically alert first responders. Or think about this, an air quality sensor could detect a sudden spike in pollution and automatically trigger warning signs right outside a school. The action happens directly from the sensor.
Okay, so how in the world does a tiny device on a streetlight make these kinds of complex decisions so fast? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a quick look at its decision-making process.
So how does it think so fast? It's all about this lightning-fast process called the edge decision loop. Let's run through it. First, the sensors grab data. Takes about 2 milliseconds. Then, it's quickly pre-processed. Next, the AI model does its thing. That's called inference. A decision is made, and finally, an action is taken. And the amazing part? Look at those timings. The whole loop, from seeing to acting, happens in around 50 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. So, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Edge AI moves the brain to where the action is. The thinking and the doing happen right there, on the spot. Decisions aren't made in some far-off data center. They're made right here, right now, in an instant. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. We've seen how this technology can change something as simple as a traffic light. But as this kind of local, instant intelligence gets built into every part of our cities, how is it going to fundamentally change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we move around every single day?